So as we indicated, the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, will in the early hours of the morning, South African time, address the U.S. Congress. Well, this will be his first address to Congress since he was elected as President of the United States. So Biden has promised to improve the image of the United States and also to unite Americans. To look at what the U.S. President is likely to say, we cross live to our correspondent, Nina Maria Potts, now in Washington. Nina, very good evening to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. So what can we expect from Joe Biden's address to Congress?
Well, supporters of Joe Biden emphatically deny that he is just a transitional president. They claim he is very much a transformational president and that he will lay out his vision tonight in Congress for a much improved America. He wants to lift millions of people out of poverty and tackle the root causes of inequality. And he sees this moment as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the course and trajectory of the United States. The message being that if America was broken, it can be fixed, and it can be fixed with a huge government spending plan. There's a lot beneath the surface in this multi-trillion-dollar package, which addresses universal preschool, free community colleges, expanded childcare, which maybe to South Africans doesn't seem that abnormal. But in the context of American sort of philosophy and outlook on life, his ideas are really quite radical. So he will push that agenda forward this evening. And he, I think, wants to genuinely make life better for millions of Americans. And he has a vision, I think, which goes above and beyond, is far more ambitious than even Democrats had hoped for. So again, he sees this moment as a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and he wants to make some of those social reforms permanent. At the moment, they're tied up with a COVID relief package, which addresses making improvements for the lives of Americans for this year, for 2021. But he wants to make some of those reforms extend well beyond it into the future of America.
I was going to ask about those spending plans, but of course the speech is on the eve of President Biden's 100 days in office, which is a significant milestone in the United States. How well has he done from what others have gauged thus far?
Well, his report card on his first 100 days very much depends on who you talk to. Remember, he came into office pledging to deepen bipartisan collaboration, leaning on his many decades of experience of working with lawmakers on Capitol Hill and having a deep understanding of the inner workings of Congress. I'm not sure that his pledge to work in a bipartisan manner has really materialized. He has, although, taken the toxicity out of public discourse. He hardly mentions Donald Trump, and I think he has lowered the temperature of some of those sort of escalations and conflicts that we saw under the preceding president. There are some areas of criticism. For example, his decision to pull out of Afghanistan. His critics say that he could have made more of areas of consensus and agreement with the Republicans and really emphasize the fact that they were working together on this plan. And of course, he claims credit for a very successful vaccine program, despite the fact that we're experiencing vaccine hesitancy among something like 42% of Republicans.
On the international stage, is there talk on whether he is striking a chord or winning the hearts of the international community?
I think there has been a degree of hesitation when it has come to his foreign policy to wait and see. That's partly because he had so many domestic issues on his plate to deal with, namely fighting the pandemic, which is why he took a moment yesterday to step out and pat America and himself on the back for having massively increased vaccine production. That's been the real focus of the first 100 days. That said, he has decided to pursue a different policy from his predecessor on his relationship with, say, Beijing and certainly Moscow and other sort of countries and governments that perhaps the US doesn't see eye to eye with. His strategy so far has been consultative to try and bring regional allies on board. So in the case of China, he's made a concerted effort to consult Australia, Singapore, and other countries sort of in the Pacific, to try and speak with a united front. Although he does also seem interested in pursuing bilateral summits. He has invited President Putin to a bilateral summit. We're still waiting to hear whether or not President Putin might agree to that.
Yeah.
But he certainly has a two-pronged approach, a bit of a carrot and stick. And he has said that and we've seen that he's not shy about imposing sanctions as well.
Yeah. Nina, thank you very much for your time live from Washington. Thanks for joining us on the programme.